Hi, I'm Adam Fiteni, CEO of Harcourts Victoria, and I'm here with Brad Ryan from our Harcourts Carrum Downs office. Mate, today we're going to have a quick chat. Compliance, underquoting is a huge part of our industry, but underquoting, it's an ugly word.
It is.
But it's also an education piece that needs to go out to not just agents, but also to our buyers. When we quote properties, right, let's go to a statement of information.
Yes.
Right. A lot of people, and most people, and it's not the way to do it, is that they'll create this price and then go and find comparables to justify their price. We don't do that. We find the comparables, we look at the property, then we adjust our price guide depending on those properties. It's not us creating that price guide. It's the market telling the rest of the market what that property should sell for in comparison to those homes within those parameters of what we can quote.
And the most recent sales too.
Yes.
You know, as the sales happen nearby in the area, we need to update that statement of information.
Constantly.
You know, it's got to be evolving as the market's evolving around us.
It's so important that we get that range right, because that will determine how many people come through your open homes.
Yeah.
That'll determine if the right people come through your open homes.
True.
There is no point in having this huge crowd in a lower range just for the sake of the sake of having a huge crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just I've been to auctions and you've got this massive crowd, but there's no bidding.
Buyers do know what's going on in the marketplace, and the buyers...
They do. They're doing their research.
More than ever. And it's good. They've got the resources there to do that.
Yeah. They do their research. They're educated. They're working with brokers. They're working with professionals in it. There's now buyers advocates, vendor advocates. They're going on. The information is there for them.
100%.
Right. So it shouldn't be, that's the price guide. Yeah, we expect it to go 10% over. That shouldn't be the way it works.
And especially the young first home buyers. I love helping out those young first home buyers, and we get a lot of them through our area here that want to buy property.
Yeah.
We can help them understanding how to interpret that statement of information, and making sure they do lean on those resources, like you said, that are around them. There's some great guides, whether it be their broker, whether it be their conveyancer, whoever it may be. There's plenty of people in everyone's corner now to help them out.
Yeah.
And help everyone understand, what it's all about, and which agencies are doing the right thing, which ones are compliant, which ones are really trying to do the best, and be the market leaders in that space. And it's great to know that we are in that space and we are that brand.
How do we work with buyers and help buyers to make sure that they're making the most informed decision when working with an agent or making the decision to buy a property?
So as a buyer, Adam, I think it's really important that they jump online and have a look at the properties that are there for sale.
Yep.
Have a look at the properties that have recently sold in the last 3 months. Don't filter the search down too much. Just keep it broad and see what those properties have sold for. How do they compare to the one that you're looking at now with an agent? Is the price guide the same in line with those ones that have recently sold? Is there a misalignment between those? Then start to look at it a little bit deeper again. If you get the opportunity, go to an auction.
Yep.
See what they're quoting at that auction. See what the comparable properties were. Are they in line? How many bidders are at the auction? If you see buyers going through open for inspections with you and you see them bidding at an auction, you've got a pretty good idea what that buyer's prepared to pay at the next auction. So do some research on your competition as well, as far as who the other buyers are in the marketplace. So for my buyers, I really want to help them understand that there's properties that are being advertised out there in the marketplace that sometimes they seem cheap. And they probably are being advertised cheap. Let's be fair, And then we see those ones that have sold and what they've sold for recently, and the data, does it all work together in alignment? And I think for our buyers, as an agent, I'm there to help. I love nothing more than seeing my young first home buyers in particular get the keys to their first home. It's such an exciting thing, and vividly remember my first home, and how many buyers I've helped through that journey. But it's also sometimes we forget it's our second and third home buyers. It's been a long time between buying houses. Things have changed.
Things have changed.
Actually, a lot of things have changed.
A lot has changed.
It's helping everybody. It's helping our buyers, and I love helping our buyers understand the process.
Well, that's what we do. We bring the buyer and the seller together, and we want to make that process as easy as possible for both parties, but also get the ultimate result for both parties. I think one tip for our vendors when choosing an agent is that first, connect with the agent as a person, but look at the data that they bring. The market determines what your property is going to sell for. The agents don't have a crystal ball. They can't just give you this figure that's exceeding everyone else's expectation. Yours is going to get so much more compared to the one that's completely very similar property down the road. Look at the information they bring. Don't think a high price or a quote range that the agent is going to give you is going to benefit your property. Use the market to determine where we're going to be able to draw buyers to for that property in that price guide.
Sound advice. And I see a really good tip for our buyers would be to do the research. Dig a bit deeper on what goes on with the properties in the area that you're looking in. Be obsessed with it. This is a big deal buying this property. Be obsessed with the property. Be obsessed with the market. Look at those sales that have happened nearby. Click on those properties and see what they sold for. Have a look at the photos. How do they compare to the one you're looking at now? Are they in alignment with each other? What kind of budget do I need to really secure that property that I want?
Yeah.
And just dig deep on the resources that are there to know the market and become obsessed with those prices to give you the confidence on the day. Confidence to buy.
100%. And I'm going to add to that, ask a lot of questions. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Like, ask as many, there's no silly questions.
No.
We're here to help the process.
Yep.
Ask as many questions as you need.
Totally agree.
Yep.